Now we have another lesson, important lesson, disaster management. Actually, this is an essay. Most probably, you will be asked to prepare an essay how to face, how to manage a disaster. What are the techniques? What are the problem solving strategies you have to adopt if a disaster, it may be man-made, it may be natural disasters, whatever it is, and we have to manage it. So disaster management is a widely discussed topic all around the world because it is repeatedly occurring all around the world, especially in India. And we have to manage these disasters to have a better future for mankind. Okay, let us go to the note. And this note you try to understand, and if a question asked from this lesson, almost every idea I have tried to incorporate in this lesson, including the recent consecutive 2 floods that happened in Kerala, and how we managed that havoc, that calamity in our own Kerala. Let's go to the note, right? All around the globe, the recurring disasters have become a challenging threat to humanity. All around the globe, globe means all around the world, all around the earth. The recurring means repeatedly happening disasters have become a challenging threat to humanity. People are becoming grave victims of these devastating disasters in both developing and developed countries, and the people, innocent people, women and children, are becoming the grave victims of these grave means serious victims of these devastating disasters. Devastating means destroying all, destroying everything, wiping out all the trace of life in both developing and developed countries. In every countries, these natural calamities are a common phenomenon. But developed countries have better preparedness to face them. But developed countries, they are equipped, have got correct arrangements to face these kind of natural disasters. And in developing countries, underdeveloped countries, in these countries we don't have much, especially India, technology to confront these disasters. Okay, this is the first paragraph. Second one, of all the disasters, floods are the most common and droughts are the deadliest. And floods, and we had in Kerala, we Keralites bravely managed those 2 disasters, and the common disaster everywhere around the globe is flood, and the droughts are deadliest, most dangerous natural calamity is droughts. India is highly vulnerable to disasters due to its geographical location and geological formation. India is highly vulnerable, exposed to disasters because of its geographical location, and this location is a little bit conducive, favorable to natural disasters. And geological formation, our formation of structure of the soil, and sea, mountains, all these are important factors that determine the natural disasters. Disasters are 2 kinds, natural and man-made disasters, that I have already told you. Gujarat earthquake, the tsunami, are natural disasters, right? Gujarat earthquake and a number of earthquakes we have witnessed recently in the last century in India, and the most prominent one is Gujarat earthquake and the tsunami in 2004, and every one of us in Kerala have undergone the trauma, the pain after the tsunami. A number of deaths we have witnessed here, and these two floods, droughts, these are all natural disasters, but there is man-made disaster. Bhopal gas tragedy is man-made, which killed thousands of people in Madhya Pradesh. Bhopal gas tragedy, Union Carbide Company, it was a chemical company, and there was a leakage of poisonous gas in Bhopal, and in Bhopal city itself, a number of people died on the spot, and it was a tragedy made by the carelessness of, by the recklessness of corporate companies. The aftermath of disasters are damage. Aftermath means the consequences, the result, the bad results of these disasters are damage, destruction, and death. Damage, buildings may be collapsed, okay, and damages are the destruction, wide destructions would be there, and death, a number of lives will be in danger. The lifeline support systems like water supply, communication, and power supply are deeply affected. These are our lifeline support systems, like the systems that support our life always, without which we cannot live, we cannot go forward. Especially water supply. If there is no water, what happens, communication, all kind of telephone, mobile phone, internet, and all these latest technologies will be in trouble if a natural disaster occur. And there is power supply, electricity, and if there is a failure of electricity, and our household activity will stand still, okay, and all these are deeply affected. The people will be in severe stress and pressure, and the agony, the pain they are feeling in those moments, it is inexplicable, it is unbearable, right? And the healthcare systems and economic activities are under severe stress. Healthcare systems, take the example, an earthquake happened here in our area, and the nearby hospital will be crowded, full of people. Injured people will be there, dead people will be there, and their relatives, kith and kin, and everyone will be there, surrounded and crowded in the vicinity or in the premise of the hospital. The hospital, the doctors, nurses, and the hospital management cannot control this crisis. And economic activities like trade and everything will be affected if there is a natural disaster in your area. The marginalized sections of the society are more prone to the fatal consequences. And if anything happens, if there is a war is a man-made disaster. If there is natural disasters, and always the affected people, the victims, will be the marginalized, sidelined, poor people. Why? Because they will be living in naturally sensitive areas. Okay, and in those areas there is every chance for an earthquake, for a flood, drought. The rich, the wealthy people will not suffer much because they will be living in comfortable, secure places. and these floods may not affect these people. And if there is a huge, big natural calamity, no doubt everyone will be in trouble. Okay, they cannot escape from the punishment of the Almighty God. And the indirect impact is the psychological trauma for an entire lifetime, which requires immediate rehabilitation. Earlier, we discussed the direct impact, the direct result of all these natural disasters, but there is an indirect impact, effect on the psychological structure of a person, because the trauma, the pain, the agony this man undergo is out of words, and he has to suffer this trauma pain for his entire lifetime. And those kind of people who are mentally affected should be rehabilitated, or should be given immediate relief